All right, welcome back, everybody. That was So Long with Micah Willis and Austin Payne. Right now, we've got Micah Willis here with us, singer, songwriter, actor. I heard trumpet player. Is that true, sir?
Trumpet player, yeah. I've been playing trumpet since about fifth grade, and I love playing that instrument, man. It's so fun.
And so, like, with that background, you said fifth grade, and then I've just kind of been doing some research and diving in on things, and also that you wrote your first song at second grade. So music is nothing new to you. I don't know how old you are now. You can state that if you wish, but I mean, it seems like it's been around with you for most of your life.
It has, yeah. So I'm 24 now, and I grew up with music. My dad is a blues musician. His whole family plays music, so growing up, he, gave me a harmonica, and we've just been jamming ever since I can remember. And eventually I started playing shows with him. And so music has been the number one thing in my life since a very early age.
And do you see that going forward as part of your lifestyle, and you're where you're at and where you want to be, and you just want to expand and get better and just spread that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Each project I take on, I learn from the previous ones, and think about what can I do to be better, and I try my hardest to make something enjoyable, to the listener, and do the best I can, and progress.
And that's the key too, is, and you'll learn a lot of things. You're like, oh, you know what? I did that last time. Maybe next time I'll do it this way. Or when you're in the middle of that project, you look back and be like, yeah, that didn't work out so well. Maybe let's change it up this time. Let's try this. Let's try that. Get experimental, but also bring some of that experience into new music. And you got to keep up these days. You got to keep putting songs out. Things are moving fast. Somebody says, hey, you got a new song. Yeah, I just put it out yesterday. But I mean, do you have a new one? You're like, I just put it out yesterday. So
right. Exactly.
You got to keep feeding them, because especially in this world, you being a musician and having multiple talents as well, so you're an actor too. So talk a little bit about that and trying to juggle things, and you're traveling and stuff too, and where you're from, go a little bit back in your background, but also some of your skills that you're implementing, not just music.
Yeah. So, I currently live in Salt Lake City, grew up there. And at an early age, I really loved music, and I also loved acting. So throughout school, I was in musicals, because that was kind of the best of both worlds. I could sing and then also act. And then since then, I've been able to do some acting. And I was in a Disney Channel show called Andy Mack. That was an awesome experience. They actually filmed here in Salt Lake City, as well as, a lot of Disney Channel originals like High School Musical. They film right down the street from me. So it was great to be a part of that experience. And then when it comes to music, growing up, I had this burning passion for it. And in elementary school, I would just love music class. And then I remember in fifth grade, I started trumpet in the school band, and it just kind of led on from there. My biggest thing was singing. So I joined the Salt Lake Children's Choir when I was 8. And that kind of introduced me to performing in front of people. I would always, sing on my own in the shower or around my house. And then I remember that first time being in front of people, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Because for me, performing is one of the best experiences, because I love to see the audience happy. I love being on stage and seeing them smile and dance, and, kind of forget about the outside world for a little bit. And
you're kind of the orchestrator, and you're kind of like, the controller of the room and the energy and everything. So if you're the high, you've led off, and we'll get into that. You've, led off shows with some pretty big names. And so you've had some good crowds and people to perform in front of. And that's, when you're talking about age 8, my niece is getting into acting and singing and performing and plays and stuff. And I wish I would have gotten into it then, because I'm a commercial actor now too, but I'm now working on my acting, and so as you become an adult, you get all these convictions, you get all these things and these reservations, and you got to let a lot of it go, and you have to learn it all over again, basically. And that's what I like about, kids getting into it early, because it gives them that confidence to be themselves out in front of a crowd or perform and not be nervous and be, there in the moment. And so for kids to
Definitely.
experience that is definitely, so even moving forward, if you don't become an actor, you can, you know, at least in a boardroom, get up and speak, control the room, the energy, understand that you are the energy. People are watching you and looking for you so they can respond emotionally or, you know, their feedback back and forth. And once you start getting that interaction, like you said, and seeing them smile, it's something special and something to behold. And you want to gather more people. You know, the more you do that to a certain amount of people, you want to gather more people. So let's talk a little bit about right now. You know, you're talking about performing in front of people. It's a tough time. It's, you know, coronavirus is out there and a lot of musicians are struggling to find ways to really make money, but also to be creative and get things out there and get their music out there in front of people, because not everybody's streaming. And also some, like you said, a live performance, you can really engage and get people right there face to face and almost connect on another level. So talk a little bit about that and what you're doing in these times, to maybe balance it out.
Yeah. So, I mean, 2020 kind of just, you know, took everyone by surprise. I remember, I played a gig New Year's Eve, and it was this club that was sold out, a bunch of people, and I was like, "Oh man, this is amazing! I'm gonna, you know, keep this ball rolling for 2020." And then COVID hit, and basically every musician that I know really didn't know what to do because, I mean, in this time, streaming, you know. You can't really make a living off of that, and it's really just performing. So me and my really good friend Robert Benyon, we decided to do curbside concerts. So what we would do is, you know, we created a website saying, "Hey, listen, we will go to your house on the curb. If you have a birthday party or an anniversary, we will set up some speakers, and we'll play an hour and a half or however long they want for you." And it was just, you know, them and their family. And at first it was kind of hard because I was used to seeing a bunch of people, but the more I did it, it actually has been one of the most memorable experiences because it was so intimate and everyone has been going through such a tough time. It was good to see people, you know, let go and kind of forget what is going on in the world. And it actually, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise because we have been able to, you know, go to people and perform and make them happy when things are so hard.
And that's it too, is that, you know, a lot of people working from home that, you know, they're just stuck there. And so it's like, okay, if I'm gonna be home, I would love to see a live concert, because concerts are huge. I mean, for city revenue, for musicians, for jobs, you know, there's concert events going on everywhere, people touring everywhere for every reason. And so if you can't hold those concerts in those arenas or those bars and those clubs and those places, I mean, a lot of people are missing out on that feeling because music resonates with everybody, you know, and so it does bring them into the moment. And you got a bunch of different genres out there, you know, right now. Your latest album is called X, and you did that entire album with Austin Payne, and we can get into that in a minute. But you also got, I mean, that's mostly R&B and some soul and a little bit of pop, but you also got some hip hop and some funk. And I mean, you're going across all boards. Is this something that kind of comes natural to you, or do you dive into the genres of, you know, certain things and say, you know what, I want to really focus on that one this time, or I need to expand my skills in this area?
It's so interesting because I listen to everything from, you know, Paco Bell to Fleetwood Mac to The Weeknd, and I find beauty in each one of those pieces, and I kind of try to recreate that in my own sound. So when I set out to make a song, I don't set out to make a specific genre. I just want something beautiful, something someone can dance to. I remember we did this one song, Selfish, and it's very funky and poppy, you know, and then we did this one called So Long that is one of my favorites that was more R&B. I really don't go into it thinking, oh, you know, I need to make this specific sound. I just think of, oh, this melody is beautiful. What can we add to it? And it will be inspiration from, like I said, like Fleetwood Mac. I love Fleetwood Mac, to Travis Scott.
Well, that's a good fit for the show, because that's what we do
that.
is we play all genres, because that's how I'm the same way. You know, I can go from
Right.
Reba McEntire, and then I can go all the way to Snoop Dogg, you know, from one end to another within the same day or within a week. You know, it just depends. And it could be even new hip hop. It could be old R&B. You know, I can go all genres, different ways. And that's, you know, one thing I noticed about So Long is, like, at first I was like, oh, this sounds like a little pop song. And then I was like, no, this is kind of R&B ish, you know, and then you can't really distinguish it. And that's what, you know, it's a lot of people, and especially music artists, they don't necessarily want to be put in a genre, you know, because you want your own style. And so it's Micah Willis, you know, that's my genre, that's who I am, and that's what I'm putting out, and that's my sound. And so we can classify it as that. And then this new album X that was just recently released, you did with Payne. Talk a little bit about him and how you guys came together with this album. Do you know each other? Have you worked before? Go ahead and get into that.
Yeah. So I was when I was in 7th grade, I joined a after-school music band called Caleb Time Music, and with him, we had a lot of great experiences. When I was 17, we headlined at Carnegie Hall, and performed with Grammy Award winners. And Austin and his 2 brothers were in the band, in the bands as well, and we got to know each other. And you know, we actually met up at a party one time, and I was showing him some of my older songs that I released. And he was like, man, this is great. Like, we should work together. And I was like, I am so down. And this kid is so talented. He just turned 19, and he is one of the best producers I have ever worked with. So what he did is he actually sent me one instrumental, and that one we put on the EP. It's called Play It Safe, and we were just going to do one song together. But when we went into the studio, we had this connection that I have never really felt with anyone, and we're like, dude, we work so well together. Let's just do a whole EP. So from there, we just grinded, and every day we were in the studio just making things. And it came out to be this EP called X, which we wrote about, you know, the goods and the bads of relationships. And it's kind of a story when you listen all the way through of the goods and the bads and how exciting it is. And then, you know, it turns into something kind of chaotic and you don't know what to do. And at the end, it's a little bittersweet with So Long. That's the last song of the track, where you figure out that this might not have been the person that you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with. And you love them so much, but it's better to just say so long, kind of go your own way.
Well, that's what I like about the title too. It's kind of like so long, like goodbye, or like we've been doing this so long, you know, like let's figure this out. Like for both of us, it might just be better, healthier. And usually if it comes to that moment in that situation, it usually is. It's just a matter of taking that step because you're so comfortable with the person, you know, you're like, and you might get along as friends, but it's, you know, should we, you know what, so long, let's just maybe later, maybe down the road, or, you know, but sometimes that's the way to leapfrog to other relationships too. You kind of take, you know, like we talked about with the music, you take, you know, lessons and things and you apply that to your next relationship or the next interaction you have. So, and
for sure.
I streamed the entire album. I enjoyed every single song, and I've been enjoying So Long fits perfect into what we're doing here on the show. So I appreciate you bringing those songs on. And what we're going to do now is we're going to play the song Selfish. So you talked a little bit about that. We're going to pull that in. And so after that, we're going to go back to back. So we'll play Selfish, and then we'll turn it around with When I'm Loving You. You sent me these two tracks. Talk a little bit about Selfish. We'll get into that. We'll play it. Then we'll come back and we'll talk about the other track.
All right. Yeah. So Selfish is kind of one where things get rocky and you might have taken a break for a while. The other person might not be as into you as you are as into them. And they might be seeing someone else, and you just want them for yourself. And that, you know, just kind of makes you selfish. So that's what that song is about.
And we're going to play it right now. Micah Willis, Austin Payne, Selfish. Enjoy. Hey everybody, it's your man DTong, 5-star seller right here on Fiverr. Got a great gig here for you for all of you musicians, singers, music producers, artists. We're going to put your track on my podcast, get it out there to my thousands of listeners and growing, play it on the live show, put it on the archives to be listened to for years to come. My podcast airs on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, my website, and many, many more podcasting platforms. I'm going to make a 30-second intro before your track to tell everybody where to find you and play your track up to 2.5 minutes, giving you 3 minutes of total airtime. Get the back-to-back, get a triple play. We've got some great extras. Make sure you check those out as well. The basic package will get your song played on 2 shows, so you get 1 play per show for 2 episodes on DTongRadio, and we'll also tag and share on social media with other music artists that are on the show to help you gain more exposure. The standard package will get you 5 episodes so you can stretch it out, keep your track in rotation, get more reach, get more tags. The premium package will keep your track in rotation for 10 episodes. Great exposure, get you out there to my audience, and keep it consistent over a long period of time. Original tracks only, no remixes please. This gig is offered here exclusively on Fiverr. Welcome back everybody. If you're just getting here, we've got Micah Willis, musician, singer, songwriter, multi-talented, and When I'm Loving You was the second track that we just played. And you can get into that a little bit and then get more into the album as far as what you maybe learned or what you applied that you kind of learned along the way that you applied to this album, and then what you got coming up, maybe some projects or some things that besides your curbside concerts, which I would love to attend one. Go into that a little bit, sir.
Yeah. So When I'm Loving You, I went into the studio one day and Austin was there and he was like, dude, I have this song and I don't know what to do with it. And I was like, play it. And it was a song that he actually wrote about 1.5 years ago. And he's like, do you want to use this? And I was like, yeah, this is amazing. And so this one is just a feel good song. I feel like a lot of the EP, is the hardships, but this one is the joy of finding someone and having that relationship. And it was actually one of the hardest songs to record because it was I usually sing lower and this was a little bit higher. And I remember being in the studio, just sweating and just trying to give it my all. But I found that the feedback that a lot of people actually find this their favorite one off of the EP, When I'm Loving You. And I'm so thankful for Austin Payne, this amazing producer, to have shared this song with me and let me hop on the track.
And so you do features like that often? Is this something that, you put together like, okay, well, I'm going to pick this one artist and we're going to do an entire album, or you kind of go, I'm going to do it by myself. This guy would be good, or this girl would be good to be on this album as a feature. I mean, you've opened up for, let me see here, Tyga, Kid Ink, mm-hmm. Juicy J. The list probably goes on here and just giving that confidence, but I'm sure a lot of people want to be connected to you because of that, because of your connections as well.
Yeah. I remember, that was a cool experience because, I was 18 at the time and didn't really know much about the music industry, and, opening for those big artists kind of showed me what happens behind the scenes and what it takes to be a successful artist. So those times were incredible, and I will always cherish those moments. It was interesting because it kind of came out of the blue. Like a month ago, someone hit me up and said, "Hey, I'm opening for Juicy J. Do you want to just tag along and perform with me?" And I was like, yeah. And, we got there and his whole band was there doing the sound check, and they were so particular with making sure everything sounds good for the audience.
Professionals.
And it kind of opened my eyes up.
Professionals.
Exactly.
Just like acting.
Exactly.
I mean, when you go on to a set of act,
mm-hmm.
That's what I love about acting, is that everybody has a goal, the end goal. The director's in charge. We all trying to do the same thing. Everybody's professional, man. And there's some, joking stuff here and there, but the job's got to get done.
Right.
That's the first priority.
Right. The job, they're about their business. And it really inspired me to take this music career very seriously. And
because you realize there's levels to it, you're like, wait a minute, I was doing this and this isn't even close. Like, look at this. This is what I need. This is more. And that's the thing too. It's probably even more addicting as far as once you get into that and then you start to master that realm a little bit, then you really know you got some things going on.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So let's move on to some of your platforms here. A lot of people get out there to different music platforms. Do you pick and choose, or do you have a reason why you got Apple Music, of course, all the Spotify, Google Play, YouTube and all that. But TikTok, are you on TikTok? Are you doing some things there to help kind of build the audience? Do you recommend it? Have you used it? Are you getting into it? Instagram? What are you kind of creative ideas in social media that you're doing just to kind of help build your audience? Or what are some things that you do to maybe help some other artists build their own little audience?
Yeah, I feel like Instagram, promoting yourself on Instagram, always posting, that kind of helps you. Because Instagram now, it's not chronological, so there's an algorithm, and if you post a lot and keep it consistent, that can help artists get discovered.
If you want a better reach, Instagram to help you on Instagram, to help other artists on Instagram and stuff, is to post original content. And because Instagram loves it, and so do the people watching it. Like, people can go on Spotify and see on Spotify, but maybe you in front of the camera saying, hey, go check out my Spotify page, go check, blah, 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 blah. It'll get more engagement and people will be more apt to follow that or to take action.
Exactly. You know what? I just discovered this one band called Joan that my roommate showed me, and I am just in love with them now. And I was like, how'd you hear about this? And he was just like, oh, just from just Instagram. I just found them on Instagram and was like, this is so cool. And my advice for artists is get a good campaign going, maybe like a short video clip, and you can promote your stuff on Instagram, pay $25 and get it to thousands of people. And they will listen.
Targeted people too.
Yeah.
So whether you want to target genres, areas, regions, that's what I do. I do appreciate and enjoy the Instagram advertising platform. It's very simple, user friendly. And again, if you got original content, you can get, you can have 150 followers and still get 5,000 views on that post for, like you said, $25. And so, and that's the thing too, is a lot of artists need to realize that it's a music marketing business these days more than ever. Your music can speak for itself and go viral, but you do have to kind of put back into your craft as if it was a business. I do the same with my business. I do voiceover work. I do digital marketing, but I also have an advertising and marketing budget for AdWords, and then Fiverr actually just introduced their own advertising within their own platform, which is pretty cool because it operates the same as like YouTube ads and stuff like that. So, and YouTube's the same way. If you've got a music video, they operate the same way. You can throw, however much you want. You want to throw $5 on it, $5 in Instagram or YouTube is going to get you at least 500 to 1,000 people that could see your song, even if it's for 20, 30 seconds.
Exactly. And I think people, now with this age that we are in with streaming, you gotta, like you said, treat it as a business and make investments, because when you get a good product and you invest a little bit of, money into it, it's gonna come full circle. You're gonna, make a profit, and you're gonna get more fans.
And that's the thing too, is that these days more than ever, and a lot of people are like, well, I don't want all the spying on me. Well, a lot of the spying on you is for people to use that advertising to target the right people, to stay away from people that is not interested in it. So it kind of benefits everybody, that if you're interested in, a song from Micah Willis and it comes up on your Instagram feed and there's a little promoted tab that says learn more or listen more, see more, you click on that, it goes directly to your song link, and so people, if you're a music artist, another recommendation is inside your Instagram stories from Spotify. You can share your song. And if you're in the Instagram/Spotify library, you can go under the create in your stories tab and get a snippet of your song in your stories. And so it'll be a snippet of your song with your cover of your song, and then a direct link at the top of that Instagram stories post that'll take you directly to Spotify to play that song, or, add it to your playlist or whatever. So a lot of different ways that you gotta these days play with social media, but you just gotta dive in too. A lot of people don't want to take that time and energy, but these days, especially if you're a solo artist, you don't have a marketing team, you don't have people out there PRing for you. I mean, you got to take control of your social media.
You got to take control. And, what I have told people, I work with a PR person who is amazing. And when you get to that point, you just can't stop marketing yourself. You got to market as if your PR person didn't exist, as if your manager didn't exist. It's kind of that game that you have to play.
As soon as you stop, your momentum goes away.
Exactly. And momentum is the number one thing that you need with that.
Yeah, for business, for anything that you're trying to build up, especially to an audience,
for sure.
Like you got to get that momentum. That's why they do, 3 different versions of a movie. That the one was good. 2, we can get away with a sequel, but we're going to go trilogy. Let's just milk it as long as we can because we got the momentum.
Exactly. Yeah. All
right, well, let's move forward, sir. We got another song here for you. But we're going to play So Long again. So what I want to do is I want you to take a couple minutes just to kind of shout out to people, anything you want to say, any shout outs to people individually for, what they've done for you, but also, for maybe people to follow you, where to go. I know you're on Instagram. Austin's on Instagram as well. You can give those out to people, tell people where to find you. And then I want you to lead in to this last track because it'll finish off the interview, but I want you to kind of have the platform, have the mic, maybe be the DJ for a second and talk about the song So Long as well. And then we'll play that to finish this off.
Yeah. So, so many people have helped me in this music career, and I am eternally thankful for them. One being Caleb Chapman. He kind of mentored me since I was in 7th grade at an after-school music program. I ended up teaching the kids for 5 years after that. And of course, my mother, Cindy, who has always believed in me and made my dreams possible. And I'm so thankful for them. And also Nate Pfeiffer, who has been great. He's a producer out of Provo, Utah, who has made some great hits with the likes of Cascade, Grammy nominated guy. He is amazing. And I couldn't have been here without them. Austin Payne, you can find him at Aust Payne. On Instagram, you can follow me at official Micah Willis on Instagram, or I am Micah Willis on Twitter. And thank you so much for all the love that we have received on this album X, and this is So Long.